Rovers back in action this coming weekend, taking on Swansea City. Rovers trying to get back on track, but spoiler alert, I'm going to this game, so you know what that means. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. Looking forward to Blackburn Rovers taking on Swansea at Ewood Park. And yes, I will be there, that's right, for this game and the next one, I think. As, of course, Rovers try to get back to the winning track. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the members. You know who you are. Your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers is right here. Of course, check out the links down below. But yes, we're looking forward to this game. And hopefully Rovers can get back to winning ways for me. I'm travelling, I don't know, 4,000 odd miles and some to see this game, and it will be my first in the John Eustace era. The last few games I was there was in the JDT era, and it was miserable, and we got spanked here, there, and everywhere. So hopefully a changing of the tide for me. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end and take a look at this match. It's coming at you this coming Saturday at Ewood Park, and Rovers hope to make it or continue to be a fortress. That's right. Let's take a look, though, at the recent run of the events, or the tail of the tape, should we say, in this match. And they have played 15 times, these two clubs, since 2011. 5 wins for Rovers, 6 wins for Swansea. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Both sides coming into this on identical form over the last 6. That's 50%. Rovers winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 2. And the same can be said for Swansea, just in a little bit of a different order. The biggest win for Rovers was a 3-0 win. The biggest win for Swansea, also a 3-0 win. They scored 1 more goal than we have over the course of those 15 games, working out to be 1.47 goals on average. They're in 11th right now in the table, 12 points from their possible, I don't even know how many, up against Rovers, and they are 8th with 15 points to the name as well. And our home record is what's keeping us afloat right now, with an impressive 4 wins out of 4 thus far, hopefully making it a couple more wins as well. Moving forward, let's take a look at the recent run of events then between these two sides over the course of those games, with the last season, Swansea doing the double over Rovers, but of course it was one of the worst seasons on record for Rovers, losing at Ewood back on around about this time as well, 28th of October, Swansea coming out top with a Liam Cullen goal. Meanwhile, we did play them in Swansea and again lost. Sammy Smollish doing his thing. But before that, we had a good run. We did the double over them the prior season. And that was a JDT season. It was a bit more even. Steve, it's actually quite even over the course of the last 6. Won 3 and lost 3. But if you take a look at what's happened at Ewood Park, Swansea have only won once in the last 6, and that was the last time. So, on paper, it does look Ewood will be a tricky place to go, and hopefully we can get at least something out of this game to make my trip a little bit more memorable. But let's open up the floodgates a little bit and look back at the last 10. As you see, again, this is home and away. There's a lot of draws in there as well. There's 3 draws in that cluster, 3 away wins and 3 home wins. So realistically, is that last 10? Am I missing something? Actually, 4 Swansea victories in that. Yeah, so they've got the edge over the last 10. But anyway, let's kick on forward and take a little look then at, again, I've just added a new graphic here. Over the last 30 matches, Rovers winning. I'm trying to make it look a little bit more blue and white, guys, than white and black. But over the last 30 matches, we won 14 of them. They won 10. There's been 6 draws, and we've scored a shit ton load of goals. So there you go. That's the true stat right there. Let's kick on forward, though. Take a look at the values of the squads then. Rovers got 50 million euros compared to the 43.5 of Swansea. We have a average market sort of value, 1.93 per player, compared to the 1.67 million market values for Swansea. They have a slightly younger squad than we do. They have more national team players than we do. They have more youth national team players. And, of course, they got more Johnny foreigners than we do. But let's take a look then at the coaches under the spotlight. Here we go. And as you see it, 2 young coaches, of course, and reasonably positive success rates so far. John Eustace with 1.49. Slightly better, though, is a Luke Williams with 1.52. And Eustace's record against Swansea is all right. He's only lost once in all competitions, all venues and all clubs. Of course, he's managed against them 5 times, losing just the once, picking up a 1.60 points per match against Swansea. And his record against Luke Williams, though, is pretty shitty. That one loss was against Luke Williams, and that must have been last season, of course, in Swansea. Meanwhile, Luke Williams, again, it's that same stat right there. He's managed against Blackburn and John Eustace in that one and only game, and I believe that game was the 2-1 loss to Swansea. Anyway, let's kick off forward. Take a look at the squads then. If you're a Rovers fan, this is going to be, rinse and repeat. It's the same crop of players, but we've had an international break. We've had 2 weeks of hiatus and getting people fit and raring to go. And of course, these are the crop of players. There is a discussion. Let's go to the big picture. Go to me for a second. I have had a haircut. So I thought I might show that off. There is an argument to say, back-to-back defeats, is it time to change goalkeeper? It could be. It could be a time to change goalkeeper. But I don't think so. I think there was enough in the 2 defeats to, even though the Comfrey one was a shit show, Pears did keep us in that game against Plymouth. It was just a last-minute mess, cluster fudge, if you want to call it another way. So I don't think there warrants to be a change of goalkeeper just yet. But I do feel a little bit guilty not playing or giving Ballas Toff a shot here. So, we'll see. Again, I'm sure his time will come, but I don't think it is now. As for the defence, these are them. Hopefully, Callum Britton should be back. There is an argument or a question mark to say who's going to be in the 2 centre-backs. Will it be Dom Hyam, Danny Bath? Or if Britton is back, does Hayden Carter and Dom Hyam return? Of course, remember Danny Bath picking up a Player of the Month nomination. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. But a discussion needs to be had about who's going to be in defence. Let's move on. Take a look at the midfielders. Should we say? Of course, we have Owen Beck classed as a midfielder. I don't know why, but he's also looking to return to the squad. And maybe Joe Rankin Costello should get in. He scored a goal. He gave us a little bit of hope. Again, it's good to have these headaches and good to have these discussions. Yukio Hashi back. He was not overused in the international break for Japan, but the experience of him getting called up, I'm sure, will go a long way. But after all that's said and done, here is my lineup. I've gone with a little bit of a mix here. We've got Pears remaining between 6. Owen Beck does come back. I've gone Hyam, I've gone Bath, I've gone Britton to make up a back 4. Just, I know there does lack a little pace in that back, the centre-back pairing. Travis and Tronstad do pick themselves right now. It is still a defensive core. We had a big old podcast, before the international break. We talked about, do we go with this defensive look? But I think right now, just to try and get something out of this game, hopefully a win, we keep it as is, and then maybe explore Travis Baker or Travis, Joe Rankin Costello or something a little bit later on. But I'm sticking with that. Then we go Tyree Stolen. Again, he's frustrating and needs to sign a fucking contract. Yes, and I got Catwell, I got Koza Dubry. I think that's the most attacking we have, and most creative. And then we've got the big man up top. We're leaving the likes of Hashi, Andres Wyman, Buckley, Sigurdsson, Joe Rankin Costello to make a very, very spicy looking bench. That's, of course, my take on the Rovers team. Let's take a look at our opposition then, shall we? And it is, these boys, Swansea. Of course, some familiar names in here from Rovers gone by, like Andrew Fisher, formerly on the books way back when. And they got a ex-Burnley keeper. I think he's there on a permanent basis. Is Lawrence Vigouroux. He was signed for the season in the Premier League as like a third choice from Leyton Orient. He's Chilean. He's been in goal recently, and I do anticipate him to continue. We've got the likes of Ben Cabango in there, Christian Pedersen, Josh Timon, Harry Darling, Josh Kean, a name that was linked with us before his switch. And then, of course, familiar veteran Carl Norton as well. We've got Indonesian fella. Yo. Respect to my Indonesian Afantajayon, that's right, who did feature in the game against China as we did the watch along. Respect to my Indonesian brothers. Anyway, kicking on forward, Turkey. Look at the attacking lines here. We've got the likes of Ji Sung Young from South Korea. We've got Ronald, as a decent player like him. And then likes of Matt Grimes, again, ex-Rover. Jay Fulton, Oliver Cooper. And then up top, Liam Cullen, a player we've always been linked. Josh Ginley, formerly of Hearts. Zanfer Potnik, picked up from nothing from Bordeaux following their absolute collapse through the French divisions. So a good pickup there. But this is my lineup for the Swanseas. We got Vigouroux between 6. We got Timon, Darling, Ben Camango, Josh Key, Grimes, Conchalo Franco, Ji Sung Young, Oliver Cooper, and Ronald with Zanfer Potnik up top. It is quite a good-looking team when you look at it. Not on all their faces. It's a quality team. That's the words I should be using. Quality team. I think this is going to be a tough old game, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in the flesh. Oh yes. So when I do say flesh, I mean there might be a vlog. I might be vlogging this bad boy. So be kind in the comments when you get the vlog. Anyway, let's kick on forward and take a little look then at the key players then for both sides, or the most valuable players. I wouldn't say key players. I'd probably say the key player would be Lewis Travis for Blackburn Rovers, having him on form and bossing that midfield. But anyway, the star or most valuable man, according to Transfermarkt, Tyree Stolen, valued around about 5 million. Could be more if he signs the fucking contract. Up against Ben Kambango, who's valued at 9 million. His contract also expires at the end of the year. So it looks like those kind of frustrations are all over the place. Kamango, a couple of years more senior than that. Yeah, so let's see about that. Let's take a look at the key personnel on performance basis. Now, what I did notice when I was creating the graphics for all this is, despite Swansea being lower in the table, they have a better performance on average than we do. So we've hit the skids a little bit in the terms of quality. And of course, now it looks like Lewis Travis is our main man, 7.10. We are having only 4 players above 7. When you look at Swansea, they have 7 players above the 7 sort of benchmark here. So, it's slowly but surely not working in our favour. And we do need a win, a good win, to boost those rankings, boost the confidence, boost the belief that this Rovers start to the season won't fade into absolute piss. Lewis Travis, though, tops of the charts. Ryan Hedges, 7.3. Danny Bath and Callum Britton in the squad. Yukahashi there, 6.97. As for Swansea, their best man has been the keeper, Lawrence Vigarou, 7.43. Matt Grimes, of course, pulling the strings. Ben Kamango over there, 7. Harry Darling as well. And a couple of others up in the 7s. And as you can see, 6.92 for Swansea compared to 6.88 for Rovers. It might only be a fraction, but still, it's significant. We have scored more goals, but we've also conceded a shit ton low. They've only conceded 6 compared to our 11. Hopefully we'll see the clean sheets in the second here. So we're averaging 1.7 goals a game. They're averaging 0.9 goals a game. No penalties thus far. They have had 1 themselves. Can I go back? Yes, I can. Clean sheets, 3 apiece. So, there was a good period there for AZ pairs knocking out the clean sheets, but the past 2 games have been absolute shambles. So he is on borrowed time. They have more possession than we do compared to our 48.8, 59.3% possession. What else? Red cards. We've had 2 of them, absolute howlers. And we've won the aerial duels, 51.1%. But they've got 1 more duels on the ground. But overall, if you combined both ground and aerial duels, we come out on top of 51.1 compared to 49.4. You're with me? You're with me. Alrighty, let's take on forward then and take a little look at some more stats and figures then. Take a look first and foremost, Rovers. When in possession, we prefer the left-hand side to the right, but only just. When we are in possession, 43% of the time is in that middle third, which we need to get more of that number towards the opposition third. Of course, it's the least possession-based position, if you know what I mean. So we need to get further forward more. Meanwhile, Swansea, again, a little bit more positive in regards to the opposition third. It's quite even between their own third and their opposition third. So they're a bit more on the front foot than we are, if you take it from that. And again, when they're in possession, it's even split, 40% by either the left or the right. So they prefer the wings, it does look like. Then we take a look at the shot direction. Rovers prefer shooting on the left-hand side to the right, but of course down the middle is preferred. And when they do fire the trigger, 56% of the time is in the 18-yard box, 34%. Long range bad boys. As for Swansea, they prefer shooting from the left over, definitely outranking that of the right. And they definitely prefer to pull the trigger within the 18-yard box compared to outside the box. And when shots are received, Rovers seem to be getting them more often than not from the left-hand side. So that's, I'd say it's your weakest. And then again, shots preferred, 39% outside the box. So they're limited. They are limiting the shots within the 6-yard area, which is a good stat. But it is very much danger zone here. As for Swansea, again, even split, receiving shots from both right and left, pretty much even Stevens, but a lot down the middle. So they're forcing a lot of the traffic to shoot within the middle instead from the left and the right. Then, of course, when they do pull the trigger, or the opposition pull the trigger, in regards to Swansea, more higher figure here, 11% in that 6-yard area. Let's kick on forward and then take a look at how the goals were scored. Of course, we've scored more goals, which is good, but not been great the past couple of games. Of course, 10 goals have been scored through open play, 3 counter-attacks, 2 set pieces from Rovers. As for Swansea, their goals, 4 from open play, 2 set pieces. Looks like they're quite strong in that department. 1 penalty and 1 OG. Goals conceded by Rovers. There's a whole bunch of them. It's not a good stat. 8 of them through open play, 3 set pieces, That just goes to show that we are an absolute calamity when dealing with the set piece. As for Swansea, their goals conceded through, 2 of them are own goals. So maybe the defenders are right on amongst the goalkeeper's face. 1 open play, 1 set piece, 1 counter-attack, and 1 penalty. Bit of everything there. Bit of a pick and mix, you would say. Looking forward to a pick and mix over in England. That is that. Let's take a look at the recent form then between these two sides. Of course, Rovers' form, it's actually been, pretty miserable. 3 of the last 4 winless. We did win against QPR, which was great, but back-to-back away losses. And the international break, really, I don't know if it's a good time. It would have been nice to come into this on the back of something against Plymouth. I think when the games or the matches were laid out, let me go to a normal picture here for a second. When the games were, the schedule was laid out, we kind of knew, I think deep down in our gut, that we were going to lose to Coventry. But as the season's played out, Coventry's form was shit. So it was looking like an opportunity for Rovers to get something out of this. Plymouth, long ass way to go, but really, deep down, I thought we could get something out of that game. Yes, I did expect a win, but realistically, a draw would have been fine. But proving to be a very, very tough place to go, and Rooney has them singing a tune right now. So maybe expected. Maybe I was looking at it with the blue and white tinted glasses. If you flip it over to Swansea's recent form, it's encouraging for Rovers, as they haven't won since the 21st of September when they beat Coventry at Coventry, something we couldn't do. They did draw with Bristol City at home. They did lose to Sheffield United, and they did draw with Stoke at home as well. So, yeah. No, it's so basically, and also when you boil it down, they've only scored the 1 goal in the last 3 matches. So positives there to take from that. If you have a little look at their away form compared to our home form, their one and only victory was against Coventry. They did lose to Sheffield United, West Brom, and Middlesbrough, but they are 3 tricky away matches, and they didn't score in 3 of those last 4. As for Rovers, the one and only defeat was in the League Cup against the Blackpool. We did play quite a strong side though, yeah. Pretty good so far in the league. In fact, it's faultless in the league, and long may that continue. Take a look at the resume, though, heading out of this game. As you see it, Rovers will be taking on West Brom. I will be there, I think, at that game. Watford is a little bit too far, considering the early kickoff. So I don't know what I'm going to do on that day. And then I'll be back in the hot seat for Sheffield United. Don't know what we're going to do on the 6th of November. It might be a Pete thing. I don't know. I'm going to check in with him. And I'll be back in the hot seat for Cardiff, back in the US of A. As for Swansea, taking on Wednesday midweek, then it's Millwall, and then what else do we have here? Then we have Oxford United, we have Watford, and then we have Burnley. That's right. So those are the resumes for the matches. What can we expect from the game? Well, if you take all of that and put it in a blender, this is what you get. Blackburn's strengths are scoring chances, counter-attacks, creating long shot opportunities, creating chances through individual skill, coming back from losing positions, aerial duels, and protecting the lead, and stealing the ball from the opposition. Swansea's strengths, according to the data, creating chances through using through balls. Their weaknesses, though, are defending counter-attacks, aerial duels, avoiding individual errors, stopping opponents from creating chances. Rovers' weaknesses, avoiding offside, defending against skillful players, and defending set pieces. Our style of play is aggressive. We have a consistent first 11. We do play in our own half. We do allow opponents to play aggressively against us. Swansea, though, they play with width, as we saw it. Possession football. They attempt the through ball. Often they attack down the right and the left. They're non-aggressive, and they do allow opponents to play aggressively against. The forecast says Rovers will score as a result of an opposition error. The Rovers will score from a fast break, and Rovers will dominate the air, and also will be shown a shit load of cards. So that's, of course, what this all boils down to. And, of course, if you want to look at the table, this is it. It's quite tight between us, despite our early, flash in the pan start. We have now drifted to a more reality-based position of 8th. But a win, could shoot us up all the way as high as 3rd, depending on what goes on elsewhere. Swansea could technically leapfrog us with a win and a little bit of luck with the goal difference. So we'll see about that. And our journeys thus far, we are represented by the green, of course, flying high and coming down to a bit more reality. Swansea starting low, a couple of low points, but slowly we are meeting towards the same sort of spot, according to the recent run of form. So that's how it looks like. Meanwhile, around the grounds, there's going to be a stacked out fixture list this weekend as we return from the international break. It all kicks off this Friday as Leeds take on Sheffield United. Bit of a Yorkshire classic, that bad boy. Then the early games. I'm losing my voice just at the wrong time. Cardiff will take on Plymouth. In Wales, a Luton Town against Watford, bit of a derby. Preston against Coventry, ding dong, Teether, he's not there, is he? Oxford against West Brom, and then the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Stoke, Norwich, QPR, Portsmouth, Middlesbrough, Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday, Burnley, Millwall, Derby, all on Saturday 3 p.m, including Blackburn Rovers against Swansea, which I will be there. And hopefully Pete should be here to do the watch along. So make sure you come back for that. Quick look at this before I give you my prediction. Of course, this is the scoring charts right now. Saints and Norwich is up there with Josh Major, both 7 goals thus far. Watmore Pedo, Kayambe, Cannon, Ohama, Sergeant Brownhill, and our very own Yuki Hashi up there with 4 goals to the name. As for the assist, the key man is Tom Fellows from West Brom. Willie Notto's up there as well. The most aggressive fella out there is Varane from QPR, 3 yellows. And Ben Whiteman's got 5 yellows thus far. And the star man has been Sirkin from Sunderland with a 7.52 average performance. So after all that said and done, what is my score prediction for this one? I've already dropped the prediction video. That is out. I think it has my prediction on there, and I'm going to stand by what I said. I think. Yeah, it's going to be a tough old game. We need to respond, and we need to respond fast. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because Swansea can be stubborn and awkward to play against, but Rovers need to step it up, especially in front of an Ewood crowd. Faithful, it's been good so far. I don't know how long that good will continue. But I'm going to back my boys here. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Rovers. Ewood in front of my very eyes. That's right. My 4 eyes is going to be all over this. And hopefully I am right. 2-0 win. Rovers taking the 3 points. Big win. And then hopefully we can springboard some momentum into midweek where we'll take on West Brom as well. But let's look and plan for this game first. Let's get rid of Swansea first. And then we'll see what comes around the corner. I'll see you soon, guys. Next time you see me, I'll probably be in and around about England, maybe even on a barge. But I'll see you soon. Until then, we are done.